Today, I'll be taking you through the different types of questions that will be covered in your integers quiz, which will be put online tomorrow. It will use the same format of Google Slides as we did for our last quiz, and I'll give you a quick recap at the end of this video of how to navigate it once again. Question 1 will have a part A and a part B, and they're simply asking you to add the integers. I have created text boxes over the blank lines for you to type your answer in. Now, you may decide that you would like to draw a number line in order to help this be clear. There isn't necessarily a way to draw a number line on the quiz itself, but you're welcome to do this on a scrap piece of paper. So if I were to use a number line for question A, I'd be starting with 4, and I would find my plus 4, and when I'm adding a negative, that tells me I'm moving to the left. So I'm going to go to the left 6 places. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that will be 3, 2, 1, 0, -1, and -2. So then you can type in that your answer is -2. I've changed up the numbers. That will not necessarily be your answer. For part B, we can do the same thing. So we know we're starting at -6. And we're adding a negative, so we're moving to the left. So I don't mind starting off over here. I'm moving 4 places to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And when I move to the left, my numbers get smaller. So 1 less than -6 is -7, -8, -9, and -10. So that will be my final answer, and you will be typing that in instead of writing it by hand. Question number 2 will also have a part A and B, and once again, if you'd like to draw a number line on another piece of paper, that's totally fine. So they ask you to tell the distance between two whole numbers. So we have +4 and -4 are blank units apart in the first question. So your smaller number is -4, and we'll work our way up to +4. So we've got -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units apart. For B, our smallest number is -10, so you could go -10, -9, -8, -7, -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, and that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units apart. So once again, there'll be a text box over the blank space so you can type in your number. Question 3 asks you to simplify each expression and then add to find the result. So there are 2 blank lines for each question. I've put a text box over each of them. The simplifying step simply means that we combine our sequences of signs to be one sign, right? So we have +8, and then when you add a negative, that's the same thing as just subtracting 2. That's an overall loss. So we're writing this as gains and losses. And then you could go, okay, +8 minus 2 is +6, okay? Questions B, C, and D will both be dealing with just a sequence of 2 integers. Once we get to question E and F, there will be a sequence of 3 integers. So for example, we might have -3 plus +4 minus -3, and they'll give us the 2 lines, the first one to simplify and the second one to solve. So I'll change my color here. I start with -3, so I only have one sign, so it gets to take precedent. And now I am adding a positive, so that's an overall gain of 4. And when I subtract a negative, that's like getting rid of a loss, so that's an overall gain of 3. And then I can put these together and add. So I lose 3, gain 4, that means overall I've gained 1. I gain 3 more, that means I have gained 4 altogether. And then there will also be a question F that has 3 integers as well. Question 4 is essentially the same question that we had in one of our recent assignments, where they give you a number line and you have to label the different places for the description. So like 5 less than 2. Now, what I have done is I have gone through and put a little text box for each of them. So I just took a snapshot from my iPad. When you double click on it, or you can do that from your computer, you'll see the blue text box and then you can type in the letter. Okay? So that should be fairly straightforward. There is one in every single place, so that should not be a problem. Question 5 has a word problem where there's 2 special 6-sided dice, and they have a variety of different markings on them, a sequence of different integers. So they're asking you what the highest possible total is. So if we look at the first die, we want to see what the highest number is. So we're only going to look at the positive numbers, positive 2, positive 4, and positive 7. And the largest one is positive 7. So we'll put that as our first number. And then when we look at the second die, we're looking for our highest one. So we'll look at our positives, 4, 5, and 7 again. So we'll go with the double 7s, and that will give us positive 14. Okay? When you are looking for the lowest possible total, you're going to look for the smallest number. So you'll look at the negatives. Negative 3, negative 5, negative 6. The lowest one is negative 6. And on the second die, we have negative 2, negative 3, and negative 6. So once again, we have the double negative 6s. And when we add negative 6 plus negative 6, it's like we lose 6 and lose 6 more, which would be negative 12. When we're looking for 2 different ways to roll a 0, we're looking to see if there is a 0 pair on the other side. So the opposite of positive 2 is negative 2. Is there a negative 2? Yes. So that could be one of our choices. Then we could look at the 3. Do we have the opposite of negative 3? No, we have another negative 3. Do we have the opposite of positive 4? No. Do we have the opposite of negative 5? It's positive 5. Yes, we do. So negative 5 and positive 5. And then finally, when we're finding 2 different ways to roll negative 1, we need a negative that's 1 bigger than a positive on the other side, right? We need to lose 1 more than we gain. So we could go, okay, positive 2, that would mean we'd need a negative 3 on the other side. Oh, and we've got it. So positive 2 and negative 3. And then we could look and go, okay, negative 3. That would mean I'd need a positive 4 on the other side. Oh, yep, I've got it. Oh, no, that would not mean, it would mean that I'd need a positive 2 on the other side, which I don't have. So then I could look at positive 4. I'd need a negative 5 on the other side. Nope, I don't have one. Negative 5. I would need a positive 4 on the other side. Oh, I do have that. So I could go negative 5 plus positive 4, and my loss is 1 bigger than my gain. Question 6 asks you to fill in the missing integer. So we're starting at negative 6, and we want to get to negative 9, which means if you were to think of a number line, we would need to move to the left. In order to move to the left, we would need to add a negative, and we would need to move 3 places to get from negative 6 to negative 9, so we would need to add negative 3. And you could double check that if you wanted by going, okay, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. There will also be some examples where the first number is our missing one that we have to fill in. So we know which direction we're moving already. We're adding a negative, which means we are moving to the left, and we're ending at positive 4. So if we end at positive 4, we have to have come this way, and we have to have moved 4 places. So we go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that would give us 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to the left to get to positive 4. So we would start with positive 8. The only thing that's going to change Question 7 will give you a chart of the average monthly maximum temperatures in Ottawa. Question A is going to ask you to write the 6 lowest in order from least to greatest. So these signs in the middle are less than signs. So the first number is less than the second number. So your coldest temperature out of everything should go in the first line, and then you're just going up one warmer. So you're not putting all the months in. Question B will ask you to find the difference in temperature from June to December. So you will be looking for the numbers for each of those months, and you can put them in which either order you would like. You could either do June 1st minus December, or you could do December 1st and subtract June. The only thing that's going to change in the answer is whether it is positive or negative, but that will still give me the overall range and difference. Question C asks you to find the difference between the warmest and the coldest day. So once again, it doesn't matter which order you put them in as long as you find the hottest day and the coldest day. Question D asks you to find the largest drop in temperatures from one month to the next. So they have to be months that go in order. It has to go like January to February, not January to April. And so you're looking to see that the temperature is actually going down from one month to the next. So if you went up a degree in temperature, then that can't be in the running here. So you would put in how much it dropped in the first blank, and then you would say from which month to which month. Part E is basically going to be the reverse of the question. So instead of looking for the biggest drop, you are going to be looking for the biggest rise or gain in temperature from one month to the next. So your temperature goes here from this month to that month. Question 8 is a word problem. It will tell you what time the sun sets. So I've decided it's setting at 7 p.m. The temperature when it sets is 6 degrees Celsius, and the temperature decreases by 3 degrees every hour after the sun sets. So they want you to calculate what the temperature is at 9 p.m. There's several ways that you can approach this, but I often find a T-table is helpful, where I know that at 7 p.m. it was 6 degrees, so I need to figure out 8 and 9, but I know that it's going down by 3 degrees each time. So that would be 3 degrees and then 0 degrees. So it would be 0 degrees Celsius at 9 p.m. You'll have different numbers, but that's kind of an easy way to approach this question. There will be one bonus question, but you'll be on your own for this one to see if you can go above and beyond and solve something a little bit more challenging without any help. When you first open up the test, it will probably be quite small like this. So just a reminder that you can click on zoom. I usually go for 100%, and then it will be a bit of an easier size to navigate. Each question has a text box, so if you click on it, you can also tap with your finger if you're using your iPad, and then type in your answer. If for some reason you accidentally delete a text box, this T right here is how you can insert a text box. So you can just draw a new box there and type within that. Now, as we scroll down, the only one that's a little bit challenging, right? Each of these will just have their own text box. We've gone over all the questions, is for 4. And I mentioned that I've actually put text boxes above each of the numbers. If I highlight it, you might be able to, oh no, it's going to try to insert a text box. So feel free to click wherever you would like, and you can type in the right letter to go above the corresponding number. When you finish one page, you can go over and click on the second one, and you can finish that up, and you should just be able to X out at the end, and it should all be saved. If you are using an iPad, just remember it's probably easiest for you to open this into Google Slides and then fill in the rest of the information there. As always, it's a pretty good way to study to write your own quiz based on the number of questions and types of questions that you've seen in this video. And then tomorrow, you should be ready. Feel free to reach out and set up a Zoom meeting with me if you would like to go over any types of questions before you work on the quiz itself.